Hi everyone, and thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to an ambidextrous podcast, the podcast about slashers, these people with multiple professional identities. This is the second episode, and I'm really happy to have you all here. Before to start, I would like to talk to you, about a new command available on the chat. You can already see it on the title. If you want to know more about my guest, you just have to tap exclamation mark and guest on the chat, and you'll see some information about the guest, like Twitter account, websites, or for today, for example, a direct link to our guest app. So this command is all about our guest, and it will, of course, change for each episode. Nice, right? Last thing, and I forgot to do something really important for a podcast. You know what? I forgot to tap record. If you have any question or if you want to react to what you're hearing and the discussion I'm going to have, please feel free to use the chat. We'll go through it before the end of this episode. So last time we were talking to Megan from Austin, Texas. And because we are all more or less stuck at home, I think it's nice to say that we are traveling, right? So today we are going to travel to Ankara in Turkey to talk with a special guest, Eliz Killiç. Eliz is, I'm saying it slow because I want to be sure that I'm pronouncing the name properly, and that's the only time I'm going to do it. Eliz is head of product at Unscrambl and the developer of the amazing Dilims app. Eliz, welcome. And I cannot hear you. That's amazing. Why? It was working just before. For God's sake. Alors, probably people can hear you, but I cannot. Now, is it working?
Hi.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey. Hello.
Unbelievable. You know, you're just preparing everything up front, and when it's time... Anyway. So, Eliz, welcome again.
Thank you. Hi. Happy to be here.
It's a real honor to talk to you. Thanks for accepting my invite. Tradition on this talk, before to talk about anything else, what pronoun should I use to talk to you?
Talk about you. Her.
Perfect. So, Eliz, you're an indie developer and you have built this app called Dilims. First, I would like to know what Dilims means.
Yeah, Dilims. So the name of the app comes from kind of a joke. So, I wanted to create a time zone app, and the first Xcode project name was zones for time zones.
Yeah.
And that was a failure. So I wanted to create a new project without removing the previous one. Time zone. Zone means dilim in Turkish.
Okay.
So dilim means zone, literally.
Yeah.
So I just put dilims there.
Amazing.
And later, I kind of liked it, so I kept it.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice, yeah. And it's making people talking. So the App Store description of your app is Dilims lets you display different time slots in different time zones to quickly find other people's local time. How did you get this idea?
So I'm working on a US-based startup, but we have lots of offices from around the world. We have offices in the US, in Singapore, in India, in Australia. We have offices all around the world. And I'm actively working with all those people. So I need to know which times they are working and which times they are available or not. So the apps that are available for checking time zones of or local times of other peoples are usually is a list of times, right? So they list the local times of each city or each country, etc. But apart from that, this has two issues for me. First, not everyone works at the same time frame. So, for example, I work from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Some other people work from 4 a.m. to 3 p.m. So, not everyone works at the same time of their local times. And also, when you look at a list of times or list of clocks, it's not that easy to find a time that intersects with all these different cities or different peoples. So I had an idea, I had a problem, I wanted to solve this. I looked at the already present solutions, but I couldn't find anything that satisfies my needs, and I decided to give it a try. So the first thing I did was to create a POC that is using React and CodePen. So it's basically a POC to see how it how it will work. And I created it in a Sunday. So in the next week, I shared this app or this POC with some colleagues and with some friends. They liked it, so they liked it so much that they suggested to me that it should be an app. So
yeah, definitely. That's cool. Yeah, that's good feedback, and that's really good feedback. So you did your first user test with real people at work, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing app. To be honest, I'm using it also a lot of time because right now we are all stuck at home, like I was saying before. And when you are, I don't know, subscribing to an event in US or wherever, it's not in a different time zone. It's quite efficient to be able to see immediately, but when it is for you. And so this event, it's at 7 p.m. Pacific time. What time this is for me, and in a second you can find your answer. It's really, really, really nice. I've discovered you and your app a couple of months ago because you were the guest of Charlie Chapman for his famous Launched FM podcast. So if by the way, if you're an indie app developer or interested in this, I definitely recommend the use of this podcast because it's a really nice one. Yeah. So like I said before, you're currently living in Ankara. But are you from this city, or did you grow up or live somewhere else as a kid?
I actually grew up in a small city called Bayburt from the east of Turkey. So it's so small that it has like 30,000 people in it, something like that. So I came to Ankara for university in 2004 and just stayed here.
Nice. I just discovered Ankara was the capital of Turkey. I've always thought that it was Istanbul. So I'm confused about that because I think Istanbul is the biggest city of Turkey, probably, right?
Yes.
Right.
Istanbul is the biggest, but Ankara is the second biggest.
Okay. It's funny because in Netherlands it's the same. Everyone is thinking that Amsterdam is the capital of the Netherlands, but it's The Hague, another city of in Netherlands. So it's funny because it was the same for me in Turkey. Other personal question: did you receive a formal education, or did you learn what was your formal education? Sorry.
Yeah, my first university education was electrics and electronics engineering, but I quit halfway and started going to information systems engineering. So I have a bachelor's degree from information systems engineering.
Okay.
Something like computer engineering.
Yeah. Nice. Can you explain what the Unscrambl company is about and what are you doing there?
Unscrambl is a US-based company that
Okay.
started as a big data company. So the Unscrambl has two products. One of them is called Drive, which is a data processing application,
Okay.
if you can say. So the idea behind Drive is you have lots of data, you have a stream of data. For example, you are a telecommunication company, and you have all the data coming from all the people that are your subscribers, etc. And we tap into that stream and take that data and process it real time. So, for example, we understand that you are living in a specific place of a city in the day and living in a specific place in the night. So we can say that this is your house, this is your workplace, for example.
Okay.
And based on that, we can do some clever stuff like we can redistribute the force workload or things like that.
Okay.
And the second app is called Kubo, which can be accessed from kubo.ai. Kubo is a analytics chatbot. Basically, it's like Siri or Alexa for your data. You can ask questions using natural language, like how many customers have been subscribed to this channel in the next 5 days, or in the last 5 days. You can ask questions like this, and you get results in best possible visualizations.
Okay.
And this is Kubo.
Okay. So, and you're head of product there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the head of product for Kubo.
Okay. Okay. And for how long are you head of product in this company?
Only recently. It's been like 8-9 months.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
How did you end up head of product? Because you had a developer background, or system engineering background. So how did you move from this area to the other side, more or less?
Yeah. I've been an engineer for like 10 years now, but I wanted to move to product management side because I don't want to code anymore. I don't know if this sounds bad, but I don't want to code like in 3 years, right?
Okay.
That's and I also want to be part of the process that shapes the product.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to move towards the product management, and I talked with my managers at Unscrambl, and it all started that way.
Nice. Oh, that's nice to be able to change this, and I can understand that being kind of in power of what you're shipping outside is a nice feeling.
Yeah,
Definitely. Product and engineering are way different environments. So is it helpful or more difficult for your team or even for yourself to know each more or less sides?
I think so, because I know the technical side of things, so I can create more realistic. I can have more realistic expectations because I've already done those things in the past. So I believe that it's helpful.
Yeah, I can imagine, and it's probably also for I don't know, when you have a new idea or when the one stakeholders is coming with a new idea, you can also already say that oh, this is 6 months dev, dude. Yeah, that's nice. It's nice to have. It's nice to have. I can imagine how it's precious for your company for you to have you in board, because it just can in the first meeting close some ideas and, okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm not afraid to say no.
what's a typical day for you? Because you're also so you're product designer. Sorry, that's me. Head of product by day and kind of indie developer per night. I can imagine. So how do you have a specific routine? How are you organizing yourself, or it's just one shot sometimes? And
Yeah, I usually start my day with looking through my messages and my
yeah,
emails, because since Unscrambl is a multinational company, some of our colleagues already are working for hours when we wake up.
mm,
So when I wake up, I have lots of messages, lots of emails coming, waiting for me.
yeah,
So the first thing I start is going through going through them one by one, and hopefully be done with it in 1 hour. And I continue to review PRs. I also do PR reviews, and I usually can't do anything before the noon, because I'm stuck with this loop, right? I'm
yeah.
doing all these reviews, all these answers, and I'm reviewing our Airtable, which contains our product roadmap, etc.
Mm.
And after the day, I have meetings, I have some kind of developments. Yeah, this is usually my day.
Okay. So you're when are you working on your app?
uh, Not always.
Well, I can imagine.
When I work on my app, it's usually on the weekends.
Okay. Okay. So you're already focused on your daily job during the
Yeah.
week, and during the weekend you can do something else. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm kind of struggling also. It's the same for me, because when you're done with your day, you don't want to go back. Or it can happen sometimes. You're like really enthusiastic to go back to start another work day, basically. And can work for a time, but I guess I'm too old for this now. But
Yeah, but it's not easy, because you worked like 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours in the day, and your brain is already boiling.
Yeah.
So it's not that easy to cram new stuff into your brain.
Yeah, that's it.
After that.
There is this, after there is life. If you, I don't know, my kid, I need to take care also of her. So you don't. Sometimes I'm like really enthusiastic, and I say, okay, let's code this stuff, and let's see how I can do this. And after life is coming and smashing all these ideas away, and yeah, it's not as easy. Do you have any other side project or upcoming project you would like to share with us?
Not right now. I have Dilims as the main side project.
Okay.
I'm also planning a Mac app for a Mac version of Dilims, a proper Mac version.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, but it has a long way to go.
If I don't know how you're doing it, but I'm following a couple of Catalyst aficionados on Twitter, and it looks like it's a long way to do anything right now with that. And I was asking myself this, because I'm using your app mainly on my Mac. It's funny for an iOS app, but I'm using it mainly on the Mac, because when I'm subscribing to something, I'm on my desktop, not on my phone, most of the time. And when I want to, I don't know, create my calendar reminder or something, and I need to check when it is in my time zone, I'm doing it from the Mac. So that's funny, but it was one of my questions. Can we expect to have a dedicated app, even if the iOS app on the M1 is working really, really well?
Awesome. Great to hear that. I've actually never had the chance to see that
but maybe let's after this I can share my desktop, and we can share this.
Yeah.
What would you give as advice to young people who are just starting their career and they don't know, maybe they want to do this, or do we all have to make a choice at some point?
Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes that I can see for myself is I didn't settle for anything long enough to make it uh, a specialty. So I used to have a very short time span for anything. So I used to look something up. I would just work on it for a bit, like 3 months, and I would switch on to another thing, and this would continue like all the time, right? This this is not a good thing. This is not nice. I suggest everyone to just stick with something, even if it doesn't work. Stick with something until you can find something else that will work.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you should stuck with something you don't like, but I'm saying that you should stick with one thing and until you give that a proper time, give that a proper attention. Don't switch over to anything else.
Yeah.
Don't try to learn everything, but have little knowledge about everything. Learn a few things, but have very big knowledge about.
Stay focused on something before to switch to something else.
Yeah.
I had the same. Maybe I think even now I'm still a bit like this. Still, I cannot. I'm streaming another app, and I have a production app that I should take care of, but I'm starting something else on the side. So it's kind of the same. Anyway, I know what you mean, and it's true that it's important to be able to stay focused and not think to something else. And even looking forward, it's nice, and waiting for something is really nice. But stay focused on what you're doing right now. It's a good one. Do you have any recommendations or something to read or listen? A book, podcast, YouTube channel, whatever.
I have a book recommendation. There's a book called Design of Everything.
Yeah.
Design of Everyday Things. So I think that book is helpful for everyone, even for product designers, for regular designers, for software engineers, for product managers. I think that book is very helpful for everyone.
Yeah, it's a Bible. It's a Bible about design and how things are working and how they are processed in the mind of people who build them. It's a really nice one. I really love this one book. Also, it was a long time. I should read it again. Actually, thanks for this one because I forgot about this book. It's a really good one. I agree. So we have some reaction on the chat.
Awesome.
Someone love you, so that's I think good to know. So it's Daralgeldi love you, and we have someone else who can't wait to see your Mac app. So that's nice. I'm the same actually. I'm really looking forward to have this app on my Mac. The chat, do you have something? We are a couple of people watching Eliz right now, for listening to Eliz. Do you have any other question? At the moment, I'm giving you 5 seconds. 5 seconds and 5 seconds. Thanks, Eliz, anyway, for all this this sharing. It's nice. It's nice. That's the purpose of this podcast. So I'm always happy when it's. We don't have anything coming on the chat, so let's conclude this. Eliz, where people can find you?
The best place to reach me is Twitter. They can reach me at Eliz_Kılıç, or they can come to my website, which has all the social links,
Hmm.
which is eliz.dev, which is much easier.
I'm just thinking that I shared your Twitter on the guest command I was talking about before, but not your website. So I shared your Twitter and your app, but not the website. Anyway, I just posted on the chat, people, if you want to follow Eliz. Please stay, Eliz, but thanks for joining me. I really liked our discussion. This will be available as replay on YouTube, of course, uncut, and you will have in a couple of days the edited audio podcast. I'm getting better at audio editing, but I'm still processing this. It's like a new skill I'm developing right now. If you know more, if you can do it, Jeremie. If you know some slasher, if you like Eliz or like Megan for the last episode, please shoot me a DM on Twitter. My DMs are open, and it will help me to find interesting people out there to discuss with. As usual, if you like what you saw, please follow the channel. If you've just watched the replay on YouTube, smash the thumb up button. It will help me to continue. Thanks for tuning in, and see you soon for another episode of Ambidextrous podcast, or for the regular schedule on my channel. See you.
Bye.